Hello everyone, my name is Jordan, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the books I would like to read before the end of the year. Because, what are we? We're in August. We don't have that much left, it's fall's around the corner. I'm really excited for fall. But, yeah, so these are just some books I would really like to get to before the end of the year. So let's waste no time and just start talking about them. So the first couple of books I want to talk about are this series that I've been steadily reading all year. This one. I'm currently reading this one. This is Captain's Fury. This is the fourth book in the Codex Alera series by Jim Butcher. I would very much like to finish this series. So I'm already halfway through this one, and then I just have book 5 and 6. The sixth book I don't own yet, but this is just super fun series, adult fantasy series that has sort of like elemental magic and lots of other different races and just, some standard fantasy tropes, but I just find this series to be incredibly entertaining, and it's slightly more on the lighter side, I find. I don't know, it's just really entertaining. I wouldn't consider this like super dark. I mean, there are some dark things in it, but they're not like the main focus, and I just don't consider this world to be like super dark and dreary. Um, and I just love it so much. It's such a joy to read, but I would really like to finish this series before the end of the year. So, yeah. Alright, the next big one that I really, really want to finish is The Hero of Ages. I believe this is the third and final book in the Mistborn trilogy. I read the first two books like last year or something, and I've been meaning to get to this one, especially because I've like refused to pick up any other Brandon Sanderson books. I've only read the first two books in this series. It's the only thing I've read by Brandon Sanderson, and I do really enjoy this series, and I've heard like as many people rave about this series, people also say a lot that like his other books are better, or some are. I don't know. So I'm very excited. I don't know what Brandon Sanderson book I'm going to pick up after this series, because I don't really own that many. That was another thing I was kind of like, I refuse to buy Brandon Sanderson books until I finish the Mistborn trilogy. But I do actually own like the next two books in the Mistborn world, like the other series that takes place, I think, a little more in the future. Um, and I do own, I think, Elantris. But actually, no, I think I also own The Way of Kings. Apparently, I threw that out the window. I was like, screw it, I read the first few books, let's just buy all Brandon Sanderson's books. No, but, so I don't know what I'm going to read next. What is your favorite Brandon Sanderson novel? What should I pick up after I finish the Mistborn trilogy? Let me know in the comments below. Now, this next book is literally the only non-fantasy book in this whole pile of books, but I think it's going to be my next read, and that is Normal People by Sally Rooney. This is super crazy, stupid popular book right now. It's all over everything, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and the more popular it gets, the more negative reviews I start to hear about it, but I want to see where I fall. Will I like it? Will I hate it? I don't know. There's something in my eye. I think it's technically a romance, but I don't even really know. There's a TV show, and I still don't know what this book is about. But that's okay. Super short. Hopefully I'll like it, and hopefully I'll fly right through it. Now the next book is also the last book in a series, and that is The Burning God by R.F. Kuang. Gotta finish this. Definitely want to finish before the end of the year, because I also really want to read Babel, whatever that book is called, her newest release, but I am loving the Poppy War trilogy. I read the first two books earlier this year, and I do not want this to turn into one of those series where I just wait way too long and forget everything. So definitely want to pick this one up. This is another one that I'm hoping to get to this month, but we'll see, fingers crossed. Another very good adult fantasy, dark fantasy. At least I would consider it to be. Some pretty brutal things happen. Definitely check the trigger warnings on this one. Now, here I actually have a newer release, and that is Ordinary Monsters by J.M. Miro. This is the book that everyone says you should read after you finish the fourth season of Stranger Things. I think it's, supposed to follow kids with, like, powers or something, and it's supposed to take place. It's sort of like in a slightly earlier time. But I also think it takes place in like the UK, England, 1882, in Victorian London actually. Okay, so never mind. I was thinking like still in the 1900s, but I'm wrong. Victorian London, that's even better. I feel like I was thinking of trying to get to this month as well, but oh, now Victorian London 1882 superpowers. I don't know, something about this feels kind of like fall. Like this seems like a good fall book. I don't know, but it's chunky, so I'm excited, but I heard it's sort of a slow burn. So, I don't know, I'm still excited about it, and I think this book is gorgeous. Now, this next book I am just absolutely terrified to read, and that is House of Sky and Breath by Sarah J. Maas. This is the sequel, the second book in the Crescent City series I read. The first book, was that this year? No, I think that was last year I read it. The first book. But, I've just heard so many bad things. Bad things from people who love Sarah J. Maas, bad things from people who liked the first book. But I have heard other people that do like it too, but it's just, I've heard so many bad things. And not even like specific things, I don't know, heard bad things. I don't know. So I don't know what to expect, and it's chunky. I swear to God, each book this woman writes gets larger and larger. Like, so I just don't want it. I don't want to hate it, and then go into a reading slump because I'm trying to read it. But I don't know. But then I tell myself, I'm generally not as picky of a reader as others, so maybe I'll like it. I don't know. It's freaking Sarah J. Maas. I'm a sucker for her books. I don't know why. They're like candy, They're not great fantasy, but they're just addicting. Okay, the last series that I want to finish this year is TheIlluminae Files. I read TheIlluminae earlier this year, and it's Jade Kristoff. Jade Kristoff is one of my favorite authors, and I did really enjoy TheIlluminae. This is his YA sci-fi series that he wrote with Amy Kaufman. So, and they have another sci-fi series out. So, I mean, I don't want to start that one until I read these ones. So, and because they're told in like documents and video chats and stuff, they shouldn't take me very long to read, I don't think. The first book I actually listened to on audiobook, but I'm not going to continue that trend just because I don't own them and I don't really want to buy the audiobooks when I own the physical books. So yeah, this is, I just really would hope I can get to, if not the second book, also, or if I can't finish the whole series, maybe at least, get to the second book. Hopefully, we'll see. Okay, now these last two books, I don't think I'm going to get to both of them, but they're both new series, so these are series that I would like to get into. I want to start, and I don't think I'm going to get into both of them before the end of the year, but one of them. I just don't know which one. I don't know which yet. So either Foundry Side by Robert Jackson Bennett or Jade City by Fonda Lee. These are two very popular adult fantasy series, and I'm excited for both of them. I know the third book of this one just came out. I just don't know if it's a trilogy or if that's just the next book in the series. I don't know. But I believe Jade City is finished. I think it's a trilogy and that's it. I hope. I don't know. Either way, there's enough books in these series that I feel like binge maybe the next series I can really sink my teeth in and not have to wait for new releases, or at least not for a while. I also own Robert Jackson Bennett's other series. It's actually up back there, and I own all three of those books, and I've heard good things about that series as well, so I could also read that one. But I've heard so many more things about this one than that one, so it makes me want to read this one. Oh my god, I can't believe I forgot. Shadow of the Gods. I gotta read Shadow of the Gods. I don't own the physical books. That's probably why I didn't think of it, because I'm sitting here going around my shelves like, where are all these books that I want to read? And I don't own those books. Is Shadow of the Gods the first one? Or is that the second one? I don't know, that series. You know what series I'm talking about. It's everywhere. That's also a popular one. But that one's still ongoing, isn't it? Only 2 books are out. I don't think it's a duology, but that's another series. One of these 3. These 2 or Shadow of the Gods. I got to. I'm so excited for all the fantasy. Okay. That's it. That's all I got. Let me know what you guys are currently reading and what you want to read before the end of the year, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.